We'll start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. And let the record reflect that all members are present. And I have just a couple of comments to start out with. So we're starting to hear welcome back a lot, which is pretty exciting for the new school year. So excited for that. Again, this month in donations, we have just over $2,700. So thank you to those groups that are supporting our kids. It is very much appreciated. And then just so everybody knows, normally we do the committee reports afterwards, and it was basically redundant. So that's why we just said, let's just let people brief and do that. So for Midstate though, we haven't had a meeting, but I'll just take care of those with board chair comments because that's the same thing. So that is that. So I will take a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion.
Director Holm, thank you.
I'll second.
Director Andrews. All right, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Appreciation, recognition, and presentations. Do we have any of those tonight?
No.
Didn't think so.
Can I just mention something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tony, have you noticed the south end flower bed at the elementary? Has there been a lady working on it?
The flower bed on the south end.
Yeah, like of the elementary, so like towards the parking lot?
Yep.
Yeah,
So there,
I had a client and we were visiting about and she was going to go work on it and I just didn't know if she had gotten it complete yet.
I have not noticed a
Okay.
change. I have not.
Okay, all right, I know, I talked to Tony DeBell and
Okay.
he's aware that there's a short little
Okay.
lady with gray hair. That's what she's working on,
Gotcha.
so,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Thank you.
I just wanted to.
I
see if
haven't
she
noticed,
had-
yeah, no, I
Okay.
haven't noticed a noticeable change yet.
She said she definitely, it's a lot more project than she thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hopefully she gets it done.
All right. Recognitions of citizen for input. Doesn't look like anybody here. So we'll move into the superintendent report.
Okay, MICIC, the Morrison County Interagency Council, met with them last week, and there's a change for their funding through DHS, Department of Health, and what used to be head neglect is no longer. Talking like the truancy realm of things, and so it's falling under the umbrella of child welfare, and with that, truancy for them is gonna be just for elementary and middle school. And at 16, they're just gonna say, we're not gonna work with them. And that's pretty clear that they said that. And also they're looking at, they talked to Northern Pines, and they do have somebody for an intervention support to schools, but it would be a cost to them, to the districts. But it looks like we might be able to use MA billing for that, most of that. Any questions on that part? Okay, SRO, I met with Chief McDonald this morning for about an hour to discuss the SR role in schools, and we agreed upon some things, that it's relationship building with students. There's an education for students, education components within the curriculum that they can offer. It's an education for staff, so they kind of understand the perspective of an SRO and parents as well. Should have some frequent team meetings with the SRO and the building principals, just to keep up to speed on building needs, being a supportive role for principals, leaving student discipline for students, but the SRO would be a supportive role as far as legal types of things that they may have to address. And just assisting with safety and security types of things for the principals and the staff. We discussed general costs to the city and to the school for salary, for benefits, for training of the person. It's about a week-long training to get started, and then what the schedules might look like. We just just decided that we would move forward with more discussions. We need to present to the city at their council meeting in September, early September, get their approval. Pretty sure it would go through there. And then we would, before that, though, I think we would have some kind of agreement, tentative agreement put together. And then I would bring it back to this group and board and then city council too. He doesn't have anybody yet. He has some potential possibilities. How long it could be a month from getting approval from the city to up to 6 months, depending on what we've done. He's looking for somebody with experience. Doesn't want a rookie coming in and doing that. But I think with my background with SROs and discussions with them, I think we can work something out pretty well. And we have to get the principals involved with how that would look in their buildings as well. So, any questions about that?
We know the cost.
He has a projected amount of a possible, he thinks around 75,000. Total, and with that, we'd have to come up with some kind of, what's the city covering, what are we gonna cover? It would be a little bit more that first year because of the training piece. I don't know what that cost is. It's a week long. But that's about, I mean, if we wanted it, I was thinking about half and half, so it's about the ballpark I was thinking. Anything else on that one? Okay, workshop schedule. We have the couple days next week with teachers, and then we have the full week following. Reunification training is or I would call it training, I guess, at Fort Ripley is next Tuesday in the morning. And then the back to school welcome back is August 25th. I would ask anybody that's interested on the board to right away in the morning on the agenda is to welcome staff back. If you're interested in being there, then we'll let you know what time, and yeah, I'll do that again. Okay. But I'll get you the time, everybody, and then if you're interested, just let me know. Okay. And then for me, this Wednesday, I'll have my first cabinet meeting with the supervisors. I'm looking forward to that and kind of hearing, kind of getting a status of the district from each person and kind of set the tone for the year. So. Anything else from the board to me? Any questions?
All right. Thank you. Business manager, how do you?
Good evening, Chair Hofstad, Holm, and members of the board, Superintendent Lepard. This is the board update for the June 2025 preliminary fiscal year update. Enrollment, we haven't had any changes since school hasn't started yet, but we budgeted 918 students. We ended the year kindergarten through 12th grade at 925. MDE is finalizing the school year's ADM with the most recent Mars update, and so that will be forthcoming. And next month we will start to track next school year's ADM. The next slide is the slide you see every month. And then this is the general fund preliminary update for revenue, June of 2025. Overall, as a percentage of the budget, we're sitting at 94.1%, which is reasonable. In fact, it's ahead of where we would expect to be. Local revenues exceeded the current budget due to an increase in donations and then an additional payment from Midstate of $103,879, which is an allocation from their unassigned fund balance. Expenses are also looking to be under budget as an overall percentage of the budget at 98.4%. Although we do have year-end allocations and adjustments to be made, we would expect that this would be around 100% preliminary, so under budget in the general fund for expenses. The details of that is salaries and wages in total is about $27,000 under budget. Again, this is all preliminary depending on what adjustments might need to be made. Benefits were under budget by $168,000. That was due to district health insurance premiums. We set a budget not knowing what the renewal would be for our health insurance and how many staff would elect our health insurance, and so that came in considerably under budget. Purchase services were under budget, about $93,000. We came in under budget in PSEO, and then also our mid-state special education services. Supplies were just under budget by $7,000. Capital slightly over budget. The reason being is the large sprinkle band and music donation that came in during the fiscal year. They are spending some of those proceeds. And then all the other category is on track and it is impacted by our year-end chargebacks regarding the food service fund. And so that will be completed here in the coming weeks. I also added the other funds since this is a year-end fiscal year 25 for June. Food service, community education, and debt service. All the funds were slightly under budget as a percentage of revenue as compared to the year-end. Year-end receivables and adjustments have not been processed yet, and that would be the reason for the budget showing under at this time. And then expense, same funds, all again slightly under budget. And again, we'll be reviewing and allocating and or making adjustments per the audit that's coming up here in September. Speaking of audit, I am beginning to compile all of the data and I wanted to just share with you what that audit process looks like. We end the fiscal year obviously in June, and then between the months of June and November, I am working to complete all of the steps required, and this is just a high level what that might look like over the next couple of months. So I review all the funds and the revenue and review them based on the budget and any variances, and then need to determine what variances there are and mitigate the reasons why. I review all of the funds for proper UFARS coding, which is the MDE required coding per fund and per types of expenses and revenues. I process any year-end adjustments and reclassifications, which I'm working on now. We have to process our state aid and federal receivables, given the fact that the state meters our funds throughout the year, and so they pay us 90% of the projected aid, and then the subsequent 10% is paid over the next fiscal year, so I need to account for that revenue. We have to reconcile levy across all of the funds, which is our local taxpayer revenue. We have to have a preliminary close to MDE by September 15th of every year, so I want to make sure that I'm getting all of the steps above as tied up as I can prior to that preliminary close. And then once we have a close, I will then go through all those steps again to make sure I haven't missed anything or that anything doesn't seem to be reconciled as it should be. And then all of the work to compile the actual data for the year-end audit starts, and we will have our audit the week of September 8th. So then the auditors will come in and they'll request all of the documentation and support documentation that I used to compile all of the information in the steps above. They'll test all of our internal controls, our processes, and our procedures. And then we should hopefully wrap up the audit sometime in November or December, where our audit firm will come and present to the board. Sounds fun, right? I do enjoy it. Any question?
I'm glad that you do. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, community education board, Jennifer.
Well, good evening, board co-chairs, Holm and Hofstad, members of the board, Superintendent Lepard. My name is Jennifer Noble, Community Education Director. I'm very excited to be part of the Royalton Public Schools team. My passion for public education started over 20 years ago, initially as a parent volunteer, and just continued to grow through the years as my children went through school. My love for lifelong learning continued to grow, and I joined the St. Cloud School District with the community education early childhood teams there over 10 years ago. And I'm just so grateful to be new here at Royalton, and I appreciate all of the support that I've gotten from the administrative team and all of the educators and members of the staff that are here. So I wanted to do a big thank you for the welcome I've gotten here at Royalton. Well, we've been busy at the ECC planning for fall. Currently, we have 62 preschool enrollments and look forward to meeting families at the September 3rd parent-teacher conferences. The preschool educator team just participated in the new Great River Children's Museum Educator Day in St. Cloud. It was a wonderful learning experience for all of us. Early childhood screening is coming up October 15th, and then we will have another session in January for screening. The fall ECFE class scheduled is listed in the Royalton Review that just hit the mailboxes, with sessions running Tuesday and Wednesday evenings along with Wednesday mornings. The educator team has also started planning space for a Little Royals reading corner right here in the ECC. You may have noticed that getting started. We're inviting families with young children to join us at Big Truck Night, co-hosted by Early Childhood and Community Education at the Middle School, High School West parking lot. This free community engagement event will be held this coming Monday evening, August 18th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. and will feature vehicles from Royalton Fire Department, Camp Ripley, a school bus is coming this year, another vehicle from area businesses and organizations that students can learn about and explore hands-on. Child-friendly activities such as face painting by the Royalton volleyball team will also be provided. And we also wanted to thank our Little Falls Walmart for their generous donation in sponsoring this event. So moving on to summer adult enrichment classes had 17 enrollments, and the fitness center has been very busy each day with 63 family memberships and over 100 individual memberships. It's a busy place each day. It is an excellent way for members of our community to stay active, have fun by participating in a fitness program right here in our schools. Another way to stay fit this fall is through the hall walking program for our community. The middle and high school hallways will be open for walking before and after school from 7 to 8 a.m. and again from 3:30 to 10:30 p.m. Monday through Friday on student days. This program is free with registration via ARUX, our online class registration system. We've had a lot of fun this summer with students participating in youth sports and enrichment. With over 300 enrollments, kids have been able to participate in a wide variety of classes, games, and scrimmages. We'll be working with our instructors for fall, winter, spring, and summer of 2026 class offerings already. So if you know of anyone wanting to share their expertise or passion with our schools and community, please have them connect with me to fill out an instructor application. Fall online registration is now open via ARUX as well. So our summer MAP participants have also been very busy. From birdhouses and bowling to art and reading, the fun and learning has not stopped. On average, 30 to 40 students daily have participated in the summer MAP program. We've also engaged with our community by featuring a MAP staff float at the Pot River Days Parade. and have learned so much through our visits to the library, including getting to meet River, their traveling therapy dog. We'd also like to give a shout out to the dedicated MAP staff who lead learning and enrichment activities at MAP. They coordinate meal times and chaperone fun field trips each week. Many are also Royalton High School graduates. Online registration for the new school year is now open in ARUBS for MAP. And one final note, our next Community Education Advisory Council meeting is being held September 15th in the cafetorium. So we would always welcome our community members to join us for that meeting. Thank you for your time this evening, and are there any questions that I can answer?
I have a quick question about one of the things you mentioned. You mentioned the school home walking program before and after schools. Is that something that that's new here, or is that always?
We have been running that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, we're continuing that program due to its popularity,
Okay,
and it is free.
perfect. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you, Jennifer. Next on to the consent agenda. So, the board is consenting to approve the items listed below, as presented. At one time, any director can pull an item off the consent agenda for further discussion. So we have the approval of the regular board meeting minutes, approval of the special meeting minutes, claims and accounts and financials, the approval of personnel changes, and the approval of the fuel bid, and then lastly, the football fundraiser, same as in years past. Is there anything anybody would like to pull? All right, would somebody like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Director Hackett, thank you.
And I'll second.
Director Holm, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
point of order.
yes,
Do we have a principal's report today?
sorry.
Okay.
Why don't we go to the principal's report?
Maria caught it.
Thanks, Randy.
Quiet there.
Thought we were-
I seen the 20 slide back across the table.
Here's Ofsted, home members of the board, Superintendent Lepard, Joel Swenson, middle school, high school principal. I just have a quick update here in the next few weeks. We will have teachers in the building on Tuesday and Wednesday next week for 2 in-service days. We will be going to Camp Ripley for reunification. An introduction orientation to the reunification at Camp Ripley. K-12 will be meeting for vertical alignment in the afternoon on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we have a schoolings training at the high school, and I believe the elementary is working with their redact with the letters training. And then we'll be doing some goal setting and PLC goal setting and building and individual goal setting with teachers in the afternoon. The following week, we kind of have it arranged with the district activities in the morning on Monday, building level activities in the morning on Tuesday. And the rest of that time is with meetings and workshop time for teachers preparing for open house. Our open houses are on Wednesday, August 27th, 5:30 to 7:30. And we welcome especially our incoming 6th graders and new students to the district. If you're a junior in high school or a senior in high school, open house is probably not necessary to attend if you don't want to, since you kind of know where you're going and know what you're supposed to do. But we definitely welcome anybody who wants to come in and welcome, reconnect with teachers, staff, their classmates, pick up their schedules, get into their lockers, put things away so they're organized for the first day. And then we have the first day of school on Tuesday after Labor Day, and that will be grades 6 through 8 at the high school, middle school start on the on the Tuesday, and then the high school 9 through 12 starts on Wednesday. So that's kind of an update of what we have going on. It's gonna be a whirlwind. It is amazing how fast this building goes from empty, quiet and dark to absolutely a hornet's nest in a matter of hours. And it's always exciting. It is in June, it's always nice to. And then by this time in August, it is exciting to see kids back in the building and see them moving around and hearing the gyms in action and hearing kids' voices in the hallway. This building was built and it's meant to be occupied by kids. And so we're definitely excited for them to come back. Any questions?
All right, thanks, Joe.
Chairs Hofstad and Holm, members of the board, Superintendent Lepard, Tony Newman, elementary principal. Echoing kind of what Joel had talked about is we're ready to go. This is my second week back, and there's a lot of people in the building. Teachers are getting ready. They're getting their classrooms ready. They're pulling curriculum from the media center ready. We're getting things organized. My welcome back letter is going to go out on Wednesday, and at 9 o'clock in the morning, and that's where teacher assignment's going to go out. So I'm sure people are going to be refreshing as much as they can to get in the app and to schedule their 15-minute time slot on the open house. So open house runs just like it has in the past. 15-minute time slot to meet with your teacher, get familiar with the building, stay as long as you want. So our open house is that Wednesday the 27th from noon to 5:30, and then 6 to 7:45 is when we're done. And then September 2nd, 8 to 4. So busy time. We're ready to go. We do have handle with care training for paraprofessionals, special ed on Monday here in the cafetorium. That's an all-day training, de-escalation in the morning for 3 hours, and then the holds part is in the afternoon. Not that everybody needs to work on the holds, but that de-escalation is really important to help kids navigate through those rough patches. So that's coming up on Monday. The building is ready to go. We've got a truckload of mulch came today, and as me and Tony Duvel are talking about getting kids from MAP pitchforks and shovels to help spread it out. They made a mention that mulch is out there, but we're not going to play on it, So, but they're ready to go. I'm sure Tony Duvel at some point will do an update of his facilities, but we're about 98% done with our LED project. And the savings is just astronomical from what we've saved in energy costs from switching to LED lighting. So they're pretty much done with that. They've added exit signs. They've added some dark areas. Power goes out. First grade bathrooms, 0 power. Now what do? Right? We don't want flasher. We don't want cell phone cameras putting flashlights up. Now we have at least some of those emergency lights that last about 45 minutes in our bathrooms, in our hallways, in the dark areas, making sure that we can navigate through and be efficient with that. So, but yeah, the building looks good. We're ready to have kids back and get going. So, any questions?
Okay, all right, thanks, Tony. All right, we've already done the consent agenda, so we'll go down to the discussion on the code of conduct.
So in July, we had 2 days, 2 full days with 5 or 6 staff members that went through and built the code of conduct. We went through every single line of the models that we had and discussed how it would fit our school and our building. Modeled after Sauk Rapids, Sartell, which was based on St. Cloud, which was based on a school in the cities. And so no one really reinvents the wheel. But it is a resource that we will be able to lean on and use and educate people with for years to come. It's a living document. It's not something that hey, we finished it in July and now we're never gonna look at it again. It's something that we use. It's something that is updatable with the handbook each year. If we had come across something that we need to change or alter, that would be the process. It would go through the process at the same time that we were updating the handbooks each year. So it really went well, a lot of discussion. We spent a lot of time. The big ones are easy. It's the little ones, it's the little daily things that we spent a lot of time on, a lot of discussion, how to make it work, what they wanted to see, what the realities are from the administrative side, how to work those together and develop some strategies that would work both inside the classroom to minimize those things as quickly as possible without them getting to the level where we had to assign consequences. At the same time, it laid out when those things are encountered. It laid out the pathway to follow and the options that we have to handle those discipline issues. So, very good process.
It's 24 pages long.
24, yeah. And we did add a couple, like we added our own cell phone. Our own cell phone was added into the code of conduct. That was not something that we modeled after another school. We added that because it's specific to us. Otherwise, almost all the rest of it was modeled, and there were things that we did differently. When I say it's modeled after the format of the document, almost all of the language in it changed to reflect what happens in our school and the resources and things that we have available to us. If we end up having an SRO next year, we'd have to go through this whole document again and add that resource in as where do we plug that person into the discipline process in the building. Or the educational part or the response part to any of the things that we're dealing with that might be that the resource officer would be a resource to the school for. So those are just examples of updates that would likely happen on an annual basis.
So teachers will have access to this, like they'll have a copy of this, so when they're in their
Everybody
classrooms
would,
dealing with the scenario, they can do a quick
Yep,
refer.
yep. It's linked in the student handbook,
Mhm.
hyperlinked, so anytime that I mention the code of, I think I got every one. I was first learning how to do the hyperlink thing, which was enough, and then but everywhere where the code of conduct is mentioned in the student handbook is hyperlinked directly to this document. So if you're going through the student handbook and you're online saying, hey, what is that rule? Check the code of conduct, they can click the code of conduct and it comes up. This will also be emailed out to families as part of I'm not gonna make it a part of my parent newsletter, weekly parent newsletter. It'll be a different email before school starts. Just, hey, here is the code of conduct. Here's the process we went through. Please review this with yourself and your kids. Keep it for future reference, but this is what we are operating from and what our expectations are for student behavior. And that will be mailed, this document will be mailed out to families.
All right, any questions for Joel on this?
Be on the website too, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys did this work. I think it's gonna be extremely helpful.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was even if the product is the product, the more important piece for me was the dialogue and that went into it. There was a lot of insight from my end to be gained from the teacher side and vice versa. They're seeing a lot, well, what comes to the office, what's the kid who's been disrupting you 15 times, I haven't not had a conversation with them. I am not there to experience it with you. So if you don't communicate with me exactly what you have done previous to them coming to see me, I'm operating like this is the first time that they've had this. So there's just some of those things of how can we clear each other's roads, a little bit of obstacles as we're dealing with these things and get these kids on the right track and back in class and back to being productive learners in the classroom. So, which is the ultimate goal every day. So, but I really like the process. I like the dialogue and the questions and the conversations. And we spent, I thought, I didn't know what it was going to take. We went 8 to noon on one day, and then we went 8 to about 2 another day, and that's 5 or 6 of us all around the table. Like I said, the big ones are easy. Arson is easy. You're gonna call law enforcement, and but the minor ones are the ones that we spent time on, a lot of time on, so.
Thank you. Next is, approval of the 25-26 handbook. Somebody want to make that motion?
I'll make the motion.
Director Holm, thank you.
1 second.
Director Tro, thank you. Any discussion on the student handbook? All right, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Next is, looking for approval of student resource officer. So the one thing I will say is this was not in the agenda in the record. This was off, not added to it. The one that was submitted there. So like, I know the way the vote's gonna go and everything, that was one of the things that I really wanted was for everybody to be able to see it, and if they wanted to say something, they had an opportunity to. So that was my 2 cents, I guess.
But it was posted this was posted at the school, right? I think this sheet here.
It was, but I don't know if it was the one that was updated or if it was the one before we had the SRO too. I honestly don't. And that doesn't mean we can't vote on it and do whatever. I just want to bring that up.
And this is just approval to move forward with it, correct? So people would still have a chance to come in and voice their opinion against it if they were.
If we approve this, we're saying that we're gonna do it and spend the money, so
Regardless of the amount of money, we could always vote that down low, right?
correct. We could.
I'll make a motion to approve the SRO.
Okay, Director Holm,
I'll second it.
Director Boyd. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Approval of Minnesota Rural Education Association membership for MREA. Would somebody like to make that motion?
I'll make a motion.
Director Holm? I'll second it. Director Hackett, thank you. Any discussion on that?
Can anybody share any of the benefits that we glean from being a part of this association? Like, what is it specifically doing to help our district? Anybody know?
So from everything that Christine said, previous to this, on this is there are one of our legislative arms, and they take rural things like how much we get per pupil versus how much Minneapolis gets per pupil. And that's what they try to get the legislature to fix.
Right.
Is to make that so a small town that's landlocked by water and road tracks and can't really grow too much more. You know, how do we increase taxes so we can get, you know, or increase people here so we can, or businesses or whatever. So some of those there, that's what they do is basically our legislative liaisons to help us in the rural districts.
That's their main function.
Yep, that's pretty much their only function.
Oh, I see.
Cause what was the other one we were with before? It was C, right? And they didn't look out for the rural areas as much as the other one, so.
The C was more of a group of bedroom communities more than a group of rural communities. That's what I would say.
Okay.
You know, which we are, but we're probably more rural than we are bedroom.
How much do we pay them? Do that.
It's what, it's
2006.
Yeah. That's yearly?
Yep.
They also provide a lot of templates for levy documentation, other types of budget templates, a lot of tools and resources that they offer to the finance part of tax.
Seen professional development opportunities too. For schools.
Nice. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So next is approval of donations by resolution. Does somebody want to introduce the donations resolution?
again.
Director Trout, thank you. All right, so I don't have to read the first two. So whereas every such accepted shall be by resolution of the governing body adopted by a 2/3 majority of its members expressing such item terms in full. So be it resolved that the school board of ISD 485 Royalton Public Schools gratefully accepts the following donations as identified below. So the first one is Township of Langola for a donation of $2,500 towards community education. And then Walmart for a $250 gift cards towards the community education big truck night. So the motion for the adoption of the preceding resolution was seconded by that. And can we do a roll call vote?
Director Boyd. Aye. Director Holm.
Aye.
Director Andrews. Aye. Director Hackett.
Aye.
Director Trout.
Aye.
Director Hofstad.
Aye. All right, none against and no one abstained. So that resolution passes. All right, and then we have the first policy reading. So all of these are brand new that the policy committee is going to start looking at. So disability, non-discrimination, employee background checks, drug-free workplace, drug-free school and form, tobacco-free environment, workload limits, special education, and interviews of students by outside agencies. I think all of these were legislative requirements right away. For a change, I should say a change of statute, to start out here. So. And we'll take those on. So number 11 is the upcoming meeting schedule. So, policy committee, Monday, August 25th at 3 p.m. And finance, is that still gonna work? Okay. Finance meeting, August 27th, that Wednesday at 12 p.m. And then the regular board meeting on Monday, September 8th at 6 p.m. Any other meetings or any other discussion? All right, would somebody like to make a motion to close the open meeting at 6:44 p.m.
So moved.
Richard Trout. I can second. So we're going to close the meeting for superintendent evaluation as permitted by Minnesota statute section 13D.05 and 13D.03 for negotiation strategies. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries.